Welcome back to my Kiss A Survivors podcast. My name is Larisha Williams. As you all know, I am a breast cancer survivor. And today's subject, we will be speaking about life after breast cancer and the trauma and the scars that breast cancer leaves behind. So let's get into it. Even in remission, breast cancer leaves scars that you can't see. And I deal with those scars every day. The mental trauma, the emotional trauma, when you have to go back for doctor visits, sometimes if you just think that you feel something, sometimes it's scary because you're not sure if cancer is going to return in the body, just in another place, not necessarily the breast. And although my results came back and said that it was negative, that I would not get cancer, it was a greater chance that I wouldn't get cancer again. There's always that little fear in you every time you go to your mammogram appointments, every time you feel something, when you do your self exams in the shower or when you're in the bed, or even if something just doesn't feel right in the body, it's always just a little scary for you. And that's what I typically have to deal with on a daily basis. But I try not to live in fear because I trust God and I know that He got me through the first time. So, not that I want to go through it a second time, but I definitely trust His hand and trust His plan because I always say that now that I am here, breast cancer was not supposed to be pain. Breast cancer was positioning. And now I see it because it has positioned me in places where I am talking to women. I am living out my best life, doing exactly what I want to do every day. And that is the greatest reward that I have gotten thus far. I am grateful to do hair every day. I can speak to my clients, not, and hairstylists, we're counselors, and we're the cheapest you can get, a counseling session. And so my clients, I get to pour into them and just share with them that go get your mammograms. I tell them my story. I share with them the things that I've gone through, and you can be one of 1,000. It doesn't matter. I always pour into my clients, and life after breast cancer has definitely been something. The scars that breast cancer leave you with are emotional scars, mental scars, and physical scars. I want to get into talking about the emotional scars first. The emotional scars are the emotions of when you have to go to the doctor and you don't know what they're going to find, you don't know what they're going to tell you. Emotionally, you have to make sure you're staying hydrated, you're eating the right things. You have to watch your sugar intake because sugar has been scientifically known that it will bring back cancer, and it doesn't necessarily have to be breast cancer. It can be a cancer of a different form. So emotionally, those are the things that you have to deal with. And then sometimes I sit back and I'm thinking about my husband and my sons and my family and my clients and those people who love me, and I get emotional because I always look and think that it was a time when I thought that it's a possibility that I couldn't have been here. And what would have life looked like, especially for my husband and sons, if I had not been here? So that's the emotional toll that it always takes on me, all the time. Sometimes when I'm just riding in my car and I'm listening to music and something in the song that hits me, or it's something that I see that hits me, I think about, like, what if? And then I go into watching my sons grow up to be young men and living their best lives. And I always think about, like, what if I wasn't here to see that? What would life look like for them if my son is out there playing football and he looks in the stands and it's just his dad? Or what if my son is at college and he's waiting for his mom to come during a program or some type of athletic program or something, and I'm not there? So emotionally, I try not to allow my mind to always go into that space, but I'm human. So my mind typically wanders off, a lot of times, just thinking, like, what if I wasn't in this position. So I thank God every single day that I'm here. Before my feet hit the floor, I just thank Him because I am so grateful that He allowed me time to be here and be with my family. But not only that, there is a purpose. There is a purpose and a plan for my life. And every day, every other day, I'm living in it. I'm thinking about, why am I here? Why did He leave me here? And what am I supposed to be doing? Because it's not about me anymore. I tried to turn the I into us and we at this point. So I definitely have to be an advocate for breast cancer. I have to be an advocate for women. I have to be an advocate for women living life after breast cancer, because it's not over. This is the time where we get to live our best lives. We get to pour into people. We get to sit back and think about all of the great things that we can now do with our testimonies, with our platforms. We get to go and talk to people. We get to do the walks. There's not a walk in the remembrance of me. I get to actually be in those walks, in those breast cancer runs as the survivor. So that makes me extremely happy, and that makes me extremely grateful. So I would always say, it doesn't matter what you're going through. It always can be worse, which we always hear all the time. But just sit back and look at what somebody else has gone through, and you can say, you know what, God, thank you. Because thank you that you took me through this and you didn't take me through that. So I am extremely grateful, but I will say the emotional scars always get to me. The next scar is the mental scar. But for me, the mental scar and the emotional scar kind of almost tie in together, um pretty much the same. But my mentality is a lot stronger than it was prior to, when I was going through everything and dealing with my health and my sickness. But mentally, I feel so prepared. But you never really know until you're actually in that space. But mentally, cancer of any sort, breast cancer of any, it traumatizes you. It definitely does. Mentally, you're always thinking about some of the things that you've gone through. And sometimes I look back and I'm like, man, I went through all of that. I went through all of the surgeries. I went through all of the medicine. I went through all of the treatment. And sometimes I look back and was like, you one strong lady. You went through all of that and you kept going mentally. And sometimes I sit back and think, like, how did I do that? But my faith is very strong. I always go back to God. If He brought me to it, He definitely brought me through it. And as you can see, I'm here now. But mentally, like, I just sit back and think about, like, I guess as a woman, sometimes you don't even think. The next scars are the physical scars, which are the biggest scars, because every time you're getting dressed or you're taking a shower, you see those scars. And those scars for some are a constant reminder. That's the reason why I said that mental and emotional kind of go into the same, because sometimes there are days when I overlook the scars, but there are some days when you can't help it because they're in every area of your body. And some of us have more scars than others. My biggest scars are the physical surgical scars, of course, the lymphedema in my arms. To this day, they still give me trouble. I have to wear sleeves sometimes on the parts of my arms because they hurt so bad. You have nerve damage that definitely doesn't go away. You have what they call chemo brain. It's like a chemo fog. Chemotherapy causes memory lapses, and depending on your body, the neurological parts of your brain, the chemo can send you into memory lapses. Can you can forget things. Things can just play back in your mind that you think that are happening. It's not like a hallucination or anything like that, but it's just because the chemotherapy is a drug, and drugs are very strong. And depending on the body size, the body type, the history of your health, those type of things play a part into that. My surgical scars are the biggest, I always tell people I am glad that I'm married, because if I wasn't, man, like the scars sometimes are just terrible. So I've had the lumpectomy where the left breast was cut into on the side. I have the surgical scar underneath my arm where they had to go and remove lymph nodes. I have the surgery scar where they removed the port. They put the port in and they removed the port out. I have the areola scars where when I did reconstructive surgery, they removed the areolas and they removed them. And then I have the cuts underneath the breast, and I have the cuts going up to the breast. And it's almost, they call it a lollipop surgery. And I also have the surgical scars on my stomach, where I have 4 scars on the stomach where I was cut due to the partial hysterectomy. So those scars are always there, no matter what type of creams you put on them. They're there. You see them all the time, and so those scars are just they look terrible. And I've told you before in one of my other interviews, I had a botched reconstructive surgery. So I have keloided skin on both sides of the breast, that will never go away. Even if I gain weight, lose weight, they never go away. Sometimes they even look worse if I gain weight, because now they're more visible, which is, odd. So the surgical scars, they're terrible. Then you have to have the drainage tubes where they put the drainage tubes in to remove fluid from the breast after you have surgery. So the physical scars to me are, I'm not gonna say the worst, because sometimes emotional trauma is worse than physical, because physical, okay, we can see, but emotional, you can't get that out of your head some days. So those are the scars that you can still constantly have to live with all the time. And some days I don't know. But I will say, no matter what, far as the emotional, mental, or physical scars, don't allow that to define who you are. They are scars that will remind you of what you've gone through, but don't let those scars define who you are. Those scars are scars of survivors, warriors, extremely strong women, and it's a symbol that we have survived something that was so traumatic. But look at us now. We can still keep going. We can still get through. We can still keep smiles on our faces. We have scars, but we're here to see the beautiful days. We're here to see our spouses. We're here to see our children, our grandchildren, our parents, our families, our friends. We still can go shopping. We can go and have lunch. So don't allow any of those scars to define who you. And now I am in a space where I say it very strongly: God, thank you. Thank you for what I have gone through, because it wasn't pain, it was positioning. Thank you for my scars. Thank you for the things that I've gone through, even when I didn't understand it. I really thank you, because that has made me and that has molded me and shaped me into the woman that I am today and the woman that I am becoming. And that is my message to you all: becoming. Whatever it is in life, you are becoming. If you are here another day to live, you are becoming. You are becoming a better woman. You're becoming a better child of God. You're becoming a better person, and you are becoming the person who you are meant to be in this world. And don't let anything stop you, and don't let scars or anything in your past define you. You are becoming the best version of yourself. So until next time, see ya.